8% fee applied to packages, not regular mail. Financially troubled agency ships 7 billion plus packages a year, operating a massive fleet, spending $500 million on fuel. Doug Flynn, co-founder of Flynn Zito Capital Management, on this, a conversation we've been having for a while. Any quick comment on this social media addiction trial, which is a huge, huge story as well, but from a business perspective, as I said to Nancy, that doesn't seem like that's going to do much of a dent to these two huge tech companies.
It's going to do nothing whatsoever. It's a blip, and I'm sure they anticipated a much greater number being set aside if they were going to be liable. So I don't think it's going to have any impact. And it reminds me a little bit of, several other things that have happened in the past, whether it's the lyrics on music back in the day and all these other things that come down. They try and do this, and there's some payment, but in the end, it's maybe there'll be some adjustments, and they're trying to do that to limit the use from minors. So I think that's a good thing if those things come out of it, and some of those things are already happening. But this isn't going to hurt them financially at all.
Yeah, it's not going to add to that incentive to change, that's for sure. Literally nothing to Meta or to Google. Okay, so we've had conversation after conversation on impact of the war. This surcharge at the Postal Service is the latest. It's interesting because in the markets today, the thinking is, all right, well, maybe we are getting to the end. Oil came down a little and stocks went up. So that goes back to what you always say. If this goes on for a long time, we're going to see stuff like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And now what they're looking for is, this is good news, and perhaps, Iran is still trying to create some leverage. It's not really a goodwill gesture in what they're allowing some of the ships to pass and all that.
Right.
But we need a longer term solution. And so the market is saying perhaps this is the beginning of that, and we're on our way. And so oil prices came down and the stock market is up in that anticipation, because the market is still trading on the expectations and not on the certainty yet. And that's when we need to shift to the more certainty to get a longer lasting approach. But you see these snippets of good news, and then you'll have a setback. And so that's the kind of game we're in until we get through this.
But even if it ends tomorrow, that's been kind of the major question. I'm not sure if anyone knows the exact answer to this, but if it ends tomorrow, the duration, again, to use that word, of recovery, and do we need these types of surcharges? Are we going to need to cushion it because companies or agencies are going to still be getting hurt? Or do we snap back quicker than some people thought? To me, that's going to be the question.
It is, and I think about gas prices, because you went from, let's say, less than $3 to about $4 a gallon, and there will be some impact. You'll see it on the oil prices, and you'll see it on gas prices. But think of it like this: all these producers, even if they clear the strait and they say, hey, all systems are clear, go ahead, they're not going to ramp up massive production immediately, because they want assurances, and it's not just a day or week. It's going to take a couple weeks to say, if we start ramping this up and then we have to turn it back down again, we're going to have the same problem. So it has to be longer lasting. So it will take longer to get down there, and eventually it will. These surcharges, they've done them in the past, as you know, and they stick around for a really long time, probably needlessly. But the Postal Services need a lot of money, and so it's an excuse to charge it. I don't think it's going to come off as quick as it probably should.
All right, Doug. Thank you as always, Doug Flynn.